Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Minecraft series. Today we're back on the personal server for a couple of updates as to what we've been doing and what we've been working on. As you're familiar, we do have our giant concrete monstrosity over here that houses our creeper farm. I'm actually thinking of putting a little decal on the front here just to kind of make things a little more interesting, if you will. But that's going to be a project for another day because I've got to grind out the materials we need for our concrete. But the biggest thing that I kind of wanted to take a moment and showcase is over here, and it's related to the big base build that we're working on here. Now, it's not the world's largest base, because I don't think that I'm quite ready to tackle a mega base build, but it's definitely a step beyond a starter base and will prove to be a better area and resource for us. So let's kind of have a look at what I've got with it as I smash my face directly into the pillar that I've got set up here. But yeah, this is kind of the central area that I may end up building a house, living area, living quarters, other stuff here. Most of this area is made out of just little slabs, either of the stone bricks or the stone slabs. And we've got some other decor going on with some of the chiseled stone bricks that we can get by using our little stone cutter right here, and that makes the construction of this really quite nice. Now, this is kind of a pillar that I guess is going to be kind of the top part of the outer wall bit. So right there, that's going to be the top part of a walkway that goes around the edges around here. And that is well, that'll be, this base will be a lot of fun to build up as we continue and progress with it. And I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with alternating different types of stone as we continue building here. But the biggest change that I've kind of made is actually down here in the bottom. As you can see, we're still working on the Infinity Void, and I think a way that's going to conserve a lot of glass that I've been using for this project is actually going to be building this island with a bit of a taper that comes down, and that way I can come back in here and salvage a lot of this glass that's been used to kind of conserve that. But it is going to be a very big Infinity Void area that comes together quite nicely. Now, I might want to taper this down a little bit more, make it a little more drastic as it comes in, but as it currently stands, this is as low as I want to bring the base of this little castle area, though the verdict's still out on whether or not I want it to come completely down to the ground. But I've been working a little bit with getting our the amounts of glass that we do currently need to finish this out. So I'm going to go ahead and lay out the remainder of this corner, and just kind of while I chat through a couple of other ideas here. And one thing that I think is going to be a lot of fun is, if possible or where possible, I'd like to get into doing a little bit more on my Twitch channel related to this. The link to my Twitch is listed in the description of all of my videos, so if you want to go check that out, please feel free to give me a follow over there. I'm currently streaming on Fridays for about an hour, and for the time being it has been primarily themed around Smash Bros. But I'd like to be able to kind of increase the amount of days that I have streams going on and kind of vary the content as well. Most of my content that is viewed or people look at is for the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 videos that I do or I put together, so I will probably find a way to incorporate those videos into some sort of a stream at some point. But I've also would really like to, just kind of work on some of these projects as well, as they it's really kind of cool to see how these come together. And I mentioned in my video on Thursday that I like to do a little bit more messing around with some note blocks, and playing around with those on stream could probably be quite a bit as fun as well. Just trying to figure out, how to make different creations of sounds and or songs come together in that format might be really kind of fun. Unfortunately, I don't have enough of this light gray stained glass, but you can see that we are starting to get a little bit of that fog effect, and it's a little more pronounced if we take a look at it from up higher. Another thing that I kind of figured out, we'll take a look at over here in just a moment, but I didn't know that was a thing. That's kind of cool. But yeah, you can see that the smoke or the fog effect is really starting to come into effect the more and more layers that we put in this. And you know, I dug it down 20 blocks deep, so I'm really expecting to see really cool things happening with the fog effect as we get over that. Now, the last thing that I did want to kind of mention that I thought was kind of cool, that didn't know that this was something that you could do. This is a little platform we built up for killing some phantoms and when we want to stay up. But I was unaware that you can kind of sort of further manipulate a color of, or the color of your beacon by stacking different forms of stained glass. Now I have one pane of stained glass that's red down at the bottom that of course encompasses the majority of that, but stacking in this black piece of stained glass, it still has the red tint to it, but it also goes a lot more shadowy, and that's really awesome. That I didn't know that that was something that could or would happen with that. So I guess you learn something new every day when you're working on these types of projects. And then of course we've got our little barrel project up here that we will need to do a little bit of repair work on, and also apparently spawn proof more than what we have, because these guys are not supposed to be in here. But I guess that's a problem for me to work on, or a project for me to work on as you know, the weeks and days continue to click about. So let's just go ahead and get a couple more lights put together here. Hopefully that'll keep some of those skeletons from spawning in. But yeah, that's really all the time or the thoughts that I had with kind of projects that we're working on over here. So if this is a series that you've been enjoying, please feel free to leave a like on the video, and don't forget to comment as well, as I'm open to different types of feedback, and let me know what you think about, or what your excitement would be on viewing these types of projects on some more consistent streams, maybe on Mondays or Wednesdays or other days throughout the week. But thanks again for checking into the video today, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your afternoon. Bye-bye.